Hey, what's up? Tim Cant here, and in this video I'm going to do a track breakdown of Vibena, Uplifting Ecstacy, which is a happy hardcore piano breakbeat rave tune, which is part of the Hardcore Artform EP, which is out now on vinyl and digital on Remix Records. And I was very excited to get a release on Remix Records because Remix Records is a sick label, and I used to go to the physical shop when I was a youngster to buy some lovely vinyls. Tunes I can remember buying from there include Snow in Summer, Most Uplifting, DJ Red Alert and Mike Slammer, Let's Do It, Great Days. I wanted to doing a remix for doing an EP for Remix. I wanted to do something that was, you know, in a typical style, chunky beats, accessible, uplifting piano sounds, some nice vocals, and a crazy stab section. So let's see what happened here. So the piano. I wanted to do a little rework. Okay, I wanted to keep this secret, but look, the name's in the MIDI, so you can probably work out where this is from. This is like the second piano from a sick old rave track, and I wanted to like bass a tune around it or whatever. Give it some more love. I think what I did with this is, now look, I hate the clankers, right? But I think I use stem separation to get just the piano out of the tune, get rid of any other stuff, and then use audio to MIDI on the separated stem. So then I just had the MIDI, so I didn't have to deal with any icky stem separated sounds or whatever, or any muckiness with that, whatever. I just had the lovely pure MIDI. I probably had to do a lot of tidying it up or whatever. But I did do that. And look, we have a piano line. What's it doing? Well, there's some notes and chords. What have we got here? 1, 2, 3. This is a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh God, so that's, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, literally no idea what's going on in the chords here. It's going to take us all day to work it out. Let's not bother. Let's just have a listen to it, I guess. What a sick piano line. One I never would have composed myself. It's too complicated and good. But doesn't it sound nice? And I'm playing it through the JD800 AC piano preset, which is, so typically I do all my pianos with the Comedown 1, which is wicked and iconic, obviously, or whatever. But for a little bit of variety, I love the AC piano 1. It has a kind of a slightly less familiar sound than the Comedown 1 piano, whatever. And it's a bit lighter and breezier. And I think it sounds nice. So what we got here. Oh, look. So I've got chords. So it's like it's playing the original and then it's playing it up an octave. Compression, chorus, EQ, delay. Oh, there's a filter on there for automation. And then a phaser flanger I've got in there. Whatever. And then there's a kind of different version of it which just doesn't have the low notes, which I guess is where the track. Oh, look, we've got some pumping sidechain in there as well, and that's happening on the group. And then what happens later with this piano? Oh, so it's just like a repeated stuttered version. In a kind of sort of SMD-esque style, I guess, or whatever. Then later on we have some arco strings. That's just a tension string. Oh no, this is nice. Let's have a listen to this one. So arco string is called Triton. This isn't a synth from the mid-90s, but it's certainly, you can pretend it is. It doesn't sound too different or whatever. And this is great because it's very expressive, but it's also very, there's a good amount of attack on it. It's not too slow, whatever. So if you want to do something like have a little thing at the end here, it'll sound nice. So you can like get a nice little run there, and then with the piano, it's going to sound sick, right? I mean, already the energy levels are high, which is really what you're going for your happy hardcore. Oh, what's that? some noise that I don't know what that is. Okay, look, let's look at the beats. This is going to be very, very simple, I would imagine. Okay, kick drum. This is a 808 kick with some saturation on it. That's pretty distorted, actually. Like, you know, back in the day, I wasn't even a very big fan of distorted kick drums or whatever. But I feel like if they're nice and tuned nicely or whatever, and they sit nicely in the mix, they can be okay. And like like listening to this tune, you would think, oh my goodness, this is a crazy gather kick drum. But in context, it sounds okay. Oh, we got stuff like hi-hats. What's the clap doing? Oh, between the beats. And then what's this? This is an Amen breakbeat, guys. I don't know if you know about this, but it's good. Let's have a listen. What's this doing? Lovely Simon Harris on the Amens. Good stuff. What have we done to Simon? Like, literally a high pass at 50 hertz. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Oh, but then what? Fool's Gold coming in here later. Nice bit of choppage. That's what you want. Oh, and then Big Daddy Kane is making an appearance with his rawness. Now, this will have a lot of the low end taken out. Yeah, 140 there, because the raw breakbeat has a big old 808 on it. So I've got rid of a bit of that. I mean, it didn't sound that bad. So then, and what's this? House loop? What's this? Oh. Not the sort of thing I normally do in a hardcore tune. I guess I've just sped up a house loop and put it on there. It sounds quite nice, I guess. Sounds all right. Let's have a listen to some beats. I mean, it really is as simple as that. Just getting the elements sounding all nice and lovely. What's the bass line? Is it going to be just like the most generic sine sub you've ever seen in your life? Yes, it is. What's this do? Oh, come on. Come on, let's have a listen. It's literally just the most basic sine sub ever, test tone style. Let's have a listen to that. Oh, and then we've got some vocals coming in. Let's see what this is doing. Now, this has been sampled a few times. You'll probably recognize it. But I've done a bit of choppage to get it working with the piano. You know, I probably, you know, mucks about with a load of vocals for this tune or whatever. You basically want to get something that's going to work without too much mucking around. You know, I did some choppage and messing about with stuff here. I mean, I don't think there's no like crazy pitching or anything. But yeah, let's have a listen to it.
It gets me high.
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 It gets me high yet again.
It gets me high. You can take control of my soul.
There you go. You can take control of myself. Real, simple, classic, happy, hardcore vocal. But the important thing is, it sounds sick with the pianos. And you've got this repeating 4 times, and then before the drop, we have a bit of... And then that's got a bit of a snare drum roll in here. This is a slight bit of an anachronism, I guess. It's a kind of almost like trap-esque pitching down, you know, 808 snare or whatever. You know, keeping it a little bit fresh and interesting. We don't want to completely just retread every single idea. So what else is going on here? Look, crowds, big, huge crowds. My goodness, probably off the Mega Bass Sample CD, I would imagine these. Look, these giant rave crowds aren't big enough, but if you have 2 together, it's the biggest rave of all time. What's this? Air Music Riser. Oh, no, it's just how you know FX, like I always use. That's kind of pitched. And then we have a longer one. And this is more noise-based. Oh, there's some flanging. Oh, yeah. Phaser on there to kind of like give some stereo movement and textural movement there. Let's have a look at some more effects. It's a swoopy noise. That one doesn't have anything on it. EQ Whoosh. Now, I think this is a bit of an old favourite. Or maybe not. I think that's off Mega Bass. Boom. That's probably the bomb scare boom. What a classic. Okay, we got the classic rave woo, but just through a giant. I haven't even used Pro. Wow, this is just Ableton Live's reverb, looking like the default settings, I guess, but it doesn't sound like too much on its opening context. It's pretty sick, I think. Yeah. And then we've got some deck stops in the intro to, you know, we've got a bit of chopped up action. Nice bit of, you know, chopping up or whatever. If you're DJing it on your 1210s or whatever, that's fun bit of stuff to cut in and out of. Ooh, percussion. What does this do? Oh, just some bongos and congas. Yeah. Cymbal crash. You don't need to see that. Oh, and then we have some stabs coming in this section. Let's listen to the thing as a whole. So after the big piano, where it's playing the whole thing, then we're switching up to this, just repeating one chord, and we've got some stabs coming in over the top to kind of hype it up a bit or whatever. Juno 1, what's this? It's going to be Redominator. Let's listen. I mean, it's just a Dominator kind of noise, but also we've got it laid up with. That's right, it's Bomb Scare or Neon. Don't mess with this beat stab. But then look, I've done something slightly interesting here. What I've done is I've got the E organ from the Roland like CZ series synth, which is, I believe, is one element of the bomb scare stab, but I'm doing something different with that. So we're kind of developing this idea a bit. Let's hear. It's uplifting rave energy. I don't know what to tell you. And then we're burning like fire. And then this section, we're just like rolling out with drums and bass. High tension string. The vocals come back in. And then, right, now this is where we get conceptual, kids, all right? We've had the uplifting ecstasy. But for every action, there was an equal and opposite reaction. And it's time for the Comedown here. So we're getting into a bit of sad piano. Because after the rave, it's time for the sadness. So obviously, this is what we call a bit of tonal whiplash here, where we're going into this very sad piano from an old, I guess it's kind of an 80s soul tune, I guess, really, or whatever. If you know the tune, drop the name in the description, and I'll be impressed. And this isn't like MIDI or anything. This is just a sample that has been stretched out with pro mode or whatever in live, because, like, you know, it's nice to have a bit of a different, you know, a different piano sound and a bit of texture. And I want to switch up the vibe here. So we have this bit. So the crowds are fading out, right? So, you know, the fun times are going away, and it's time to bring on that beautiful misery. And then once this is played once, we bring in the breaks because we want to jungle it up. Bit of reversing and choppage and stuff or whatever, but then it's time to get back raving.
Do it now.
And then we have we've got just a you know, a more 95 style like raved up pattern. And this does a bit of a thing where we're harmonizing a bit. You know, we're getting a bit go mental with it, I guess. And then we've got this 80s. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's just another stab to beef things up. So this goes on and it kind of like builds up, basically. We've got, you know, a bit of a bass line here. String comes in, different bass line. We've got the claps doing a bit of a different pattern. So it's kind of all the same elements, not too much coming in and out, but we're kind of building up the intensity by changing what these parts are doing. For example, we're changing what the bass line does, we're changing what the claps are doing. And then we're changing what the stabs are doing. And then there's a bit of, look, I've done some work on this tune. There's some pitched aim and stairs. I mean, that's almost like a bit like a Tactics the Way VIP kind of rhythm there almost. Pitched amens. And then lifting up. The good times are back. Boom. So look, I mean, this is a lot of stadium rave noises like crowds, explosions, woos. So I was, a lot of the tunes I make are kind of like low key or whatever. Whereas this one, I was just like, let's just have it sounding as big and kind of polished and exciting as possible or whatever. And I was very happy with how it turned out. Let's check out the rest of the Yeah, it's just the same stuff again. Loopy piano in the stabs. And another rollout section. Big Daddy Kane is on 2 tracks here. I don't know why. Maybe this could be a mistake here, having this bit here, because it seems, why would I do this? Oh, an odd choice. That to me looks like an oversight, basically. But hey, I'm only human. This is the wonderful world of non-clanker based music. And yeah, DJ friendly outro. Ending with a rave vibe and some explosions. So there you go. Uplifting Ecstasy, a song about raving and happy hardcore. So this is out now on vinyl and digital. Check out the link in the description for that. Big up to Night Force and Remix Records, Jimmy J and Cruelty, and of course the Lowercase for sorting it all out. Thanks for your support watching the video and maybe buying the release. And yeah, I hope you're doing good. Look after yourself and I'll see you soon. Ta-ra.